Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, he's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't... We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today. Welcome Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. So I again have two mics, so you may see me looking, shifting my eyes just briefly. So we did not have a live stream on Tuesday because of technical difficulties, but we are back today. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching my content. Today, the live stream, as you can see, is what's the point of marriage? This is the question, a question that a lot of people have. So I'm not saying what's the point of marriage. I've been married for 12 years, and my goal is to help you find the person that you deserve, both men and women. My goal is not to have you to settle, to have someone just to say that you're married or just to say you're with someone, but to be with the person that you deserve, where you feel happy, where you are in love, and where you have a healthy and cohesive relationship. So that is my goal for you. So today we're going to talk about what's the point of marriage. I hear a lot of people say that, and we talk about, and I hear men say this more than women, but I do hear women say it. It is something that women want. I would say more so women want a wedding. And I don't think that we were taught to fully understand what marriage entails, at least all of what marriage entails, right? We only hear certain portions of what marriage is supposed to represent. If you've watched my content, you've seen a more holistic view of what I think marriage is, what it takes for a marriage to work. And today we are going to talk about things that are holding you back, because sometimes we don't think that there's things holding us back. We typically hear about women, their past trauma, whether it's mommy issues, daddy issues, that's preventing them for, to be the wife they need to be, if they want to be a future wife, or finding the man that, is deserving of them. I always say there's two reasons why people, especially women, can't find the person that they deserve. Is one, that sometimes they lack femininity, and given our society, how it pushes away femininity because they view that as weak, and feminism is supposed to be strong. A lot of women aren't in their feminine state. A lot of times women have grown up in environments that would not allow or give them permission to be feminine. And then the number two thing is just staying in a relationship longer than you need to be in. And it could be a lot of reasons why we do that. Familiarity, a lack of self-respect, self-love, not even knowing what else this person has to offer. But today we're going to talk a little bit about some things that men, why they say that there's no point of marriage. Marriage is just a title. There's a lot of reasons why men say these things. Sometimes people don't believe in the legal construct of marriage, the structural state, the government telling us who and who we can't be with, and according to the laws. And it should be more about the connection rather than actually having the title. And that would be great if contracts, because it is a form of a contract, legally it is. If we didn't have that in anything else that we do, if everything went off the honor system, that we're going to show our affection and our commitment through just words and action with no other thing binding it together, then that would be so. But you tell me the last time someone purchased a car without a bill of sale, and or when someone got a house without getting the deed, right? And the other thing about this is, when there is a contract, so if you whether you understand the full dynamic of what a contract is, anyone knows that if there's a breach of contract or something happens in a contract, there's what you call consequential damages. And one of the things that most people do not get, just like life insurance, that one of the reasons why contracts or marriage is so important is because if something happens to your spouse, you receive something. If something happens to them, like if they died, you can say all you want how much you love someone, how awesome they are, but if you pass away, what did you leave them with? What did you leave your children with? What did you leave your wife or your husband with? Nothing but love. So if you don't have this contract, you're not leaving them with something. And that's why I think this is important. This is what helps bind it. There's some type of consequential or, damages, mitigating damages. This person, your husband, he can't provide for you any longer because he's not here. He can't like actually physically provide, but he left something for you. And this is something you automatically get by being married. Even if you were a woman who stayed home, if you were not on the loan, the home loan, you still receive that. So this is why it's important. Let me also put yes, nice to see you, thank you. Let me put in my, if you do guys, if you want to call, you are able to do that. I have a telephone, 813-816-1813. So what sparked me to have this conversation? I was watching SWAT. I love that show. And Hondo, if you've watched the show, Hondo was like, I don't put too much stock in marriage because my pops, his dad, did not put a lot of stock in it. Meaning, when he was married, he still left his mom. He still didn't conform to the gravity and the seriousness and the sacredcy of what marriage is. Right? He left, and a lot of times people take something that someone else did, the lack of appreciation that someone else had for something that they thought they should have had, and they use that as the barometer for their life. How sad is it that you let someone else's damages, something that someone else did, dictate how you view life? And as children, we do that. As we learn things from our environment, we see our family and our friends doing things a certain way, we learn to realize, okay, I don't want that. I don't want to be this kind of wife. I don't want to be like my mom, or I don't want to be like my dad. And that, or you may want to be like them. So it depends on the environment, that you're around. But I truly think that it's important to not let someone else's issues, their pain, their trauma, and whatever they've done dictate how you feel about life. If this is how we do in marriages, it's the same thing we could say for everything else. We don't want to drive a car. Let's face it. A lot of people have DUIs. A lot of people get in car wrecks. They're not paying attention. They texting and driving. So does this mean we're not going to drive a car because 50% of people cannot drive, or they get in a car accident? Are we going to say, what's the point of getting a job? A lot of people get fired. What's the point of having children? Because children do this and children do that, or it's hard to feed children. We can say this about anything in life. What's the point? A lot of businesses go out, after a startup business, about 50% of businesses. And then as you keep going throughout the years, businesses start to drop, or new businesses, right? So you can say this about a lot of things. So it's really how you appreciate marriage. Yes, your mom or your dad didn't take it seriously. The people around you may not have taken it seriously, but how do you appreciate marriage? Is it important to you? Do you understand the gravity of it? Do you see it as something sacred? If you do, I do think it's important that then you treat it as such. What matters is not how you see how other people treated marriage, but how you are going to treat marriage and the person that you're with. And this is why it's important to have these conversations when you are first in a relationship with someone. What do you value in a man? What do you value in a woman? What do you value in a relationship? What are your intentions? What are the things that you want, you do not want? And as you do this, you kind of learn what it is that you want in a marriage. What is it you're looking for? What do you see a healthy marriage looking like? And if that's the case, then you mimic, embody those characteristics and request that of your partner. And when you request that of your partner, that is what we call crossroads. When you see they're not doing the things that you want, then you say, hey, this is what I want. These are the things I want. And if it's not something you want, we can go our separate ways. If it is, let's work to getting towards that healthy point. So we're not going to talk about crossroads, but we're not going to talk about, again, we don't want to take other people's pains and other people's problems, other people's issues that they've had in marriage, their failure in marriage, what happened when they got a divorce, custody issues. We're not going to take on those issues and make that be why we don't want to get married, because now we're living through someone else's trauma. We're letting other people set the tone of how we're going to live our life. No, they didn't treat marriage appropriately, but we will. We're going to do our best. And that's the whole point here. All right. So what's the point of marriage? It's the point that you wanted to make, not what someone else made in their marriage. They didn't appreciate it, but you're you. So you appreciate marriage. Um, let's see here. Yeah. Unfortunately, my marriage didn't work. And this is Mildly Savage Digital. Thank you so much for watching my content. Um, Unfortunately, my marriage didn't work. I've been divorced 12 years now. However, my ex and I disbanded amicably. Yes, that's good that it was an amicable divorce. And we're still close as friends. And that's good. I'm happy for you, because a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't say that they are not, that, divorce is easy for them. And a lot of people have, a lot of differences, which is cause for the divorce. Now, I am hearing a lot of people say, well, women are the one who want to get married, and they're also the one who are seeking divorce. I will say this, just for me, knowing that people, just from listening to what other people are telling me through coaching, a lot of women are filing, but it doesn't mean that the man did not want it. A lot of times men do not actually file, but they have mentally checked out. They have told the woman they did not want to get married. They may have left. They may not actually got the divorce, filed the papers, but they actually left. They up and left. So is she supposed to sit there and wait for him to file, and time has gone by? So a lot of times we're on the outside, not looking in, but a lot of men have actually verbally expressed they wanted a divorce. They have checked out, but they have not filed. So I know we see a lot of women filing for divorce, which very well may be true. I do think marriage is important and we should look into it, but we have to understand that before you mentally check out, it's important to first try to talk about things, work things out, because that is a serious thing, divorce. Um, I'm not about breaking up happy homes, but if your home isn't happy, what is the point of being married just to say you're married? Being married is not enough. You want to be happily married. You don't want to just stick around just to stick around. And sometimes we've gotten married to the wrong people, and we know we did. But the best thing you can do at this point is to move on so you can find a person that's right for you. All right. And a lot of times people are afraid to get married because they're afraid of the disappointment that's going to come with it, whether it's disappointment in losing the love of their life, things have changed, or they're afraid of losing their children, or afraid of losing their money. A lot of things are with that. Or their property, or whatever it is they have. That's why it's important to start the vetting process. A lot of times we rush into things. Marriage is a beautiful thing when you find the right person to do it with. Because as I always say, there's not only one person that can make a marriage a success, and there's not one person that can make a marriage a failure. Yes, one person can do something that puts the icing on the cake as far as wanting to have the divorce, or one person can do something that makes you realize, wow, this is the person of my dream. Yes, but it takes two people to make things work. And sometimes people are flying solo. Jack and Jill were supposed to be going up the hill, but only Jill or only Jack. And we got to make sure that we do this thing together, this thing called life, because it is hard, especially if you're going to have children. A lot of times people put, children and say, well, I don't believe in marriage, but I'm okay with having children with this person. But what you don't understand is children is actually something a lot bigger, because you can't break ties with them. The children are going to stay with you, not just till 18, but you guys will have that connection because of that child forever. With marriage, just like with breaking up, you can split up and move your separate ways. But with children, a lot of things go with that. Same thing, just like marriage, you still may have custody issues. So there is still a financial component that could hurt one of the spouses, depending on who makes the most money and things like that, and who's in a better position. So, and also it's not fair to the child. So you don't want to get into something and then the child has to live with parents not being together. So it's actually better than to, go through marriage than to bring a child in the world. So I implore you, even if you do get married, to wait to have children just to see how this person is. I know my husband and I, when we got married, we did wait at least 3 years before we decided to have children. Actually, 4 years. So we waited we waited 3 years to decide that we wanted to have children. And then by year 4 in our marriage, we had our first son. And it's important because you want to make sure the marriage is going to work. You don't want to bring a child into something that's not going to work. So again, I say to you, when people say, what's the point of marriage? There is a point. You just both need to have the same end goal for it. What is the goal while you're dating now? What is it that you both see? What is it that you both want in a relationship? Sometimes people start off wanting the same things and people evolve. Things change. And what do I say? What makes things change for people? Life happens. Some people may have gone through traumatic events that could have changed them. Some people could have, went through phases and changes, like I said, in their life. But changes is from using vices, whether it be smoking, drinking, any type of recreational, drugs or whatever. So all of these things could affect how people view life and how they act out in life. So people evolve, they change. Life happens, situations happen, and they change. But the goal is to, every step of the way, ask, where are we? Ask, how do they still view life? How do they still view the future? Sometimes people may have had people, die or leave or abandon them, and things may have changed, and they're afraid of that. So it is important to dig deep, because both men and women do have past wounds that they see, and that's what depicts on how they view marriage. But please do not, I implore you, do not let other people's failures dictate how you are going to live your life, because you're not them. You can easily make sure that you don't have the same failures as they do by learning from their mistakes. See what it is they did and critique it. You know what? This is what I liked about what they did, and this is what I don't like. So I don't want to do this. I don't want to be that kind of father. I don't want to be that kind of husband. I don't want to be that kind of mother. I'm going to do something different. Not scratch out marriage altogether, but change what they did and what they didn't do correctly. We can always learn from that, because I do think marriage is part of creating families. Yes, you can create families without being married, but I feel like it's kind of like selfish. It's like having children and not having life insurance. You want to have something for them. Yes, you want to have strings attached. So when something happens, this homestead, this home is ours. This property is yours. This is, you want to set people up for success, not for failure. Think about in the military. You could be with someone in the military. If something happens to them, what happens to you? How is your family protected? And that's why you see a lot of people in the military do get married a lot sooner, because they know that their life is on the line and they want to protect the people that they say they care about. And this is what you're going to do. This is what marriage is. All right. I know a lot of people just like to look at it as only a contract, but that's the binding part of the contract. That's the legal part of it. If something happens, you're taken care of course, unless they have a will to or a prenuptial agreement where you agree not to take anything. Those things are parameters or exception to the rule, of course. So yes, and let's see. Congratulations on the longevity in raising kids in a marriage. It's super important for the sake of the kids, and co-parenting, yes, occurs even if divorced. Yes, it is. So I do think that marriage is important, and it's not just because, you know, I'm married. I'm saying this. I've always believed in marriage, even when I see other people fail in marriage. I do think it's important, and the reason why I think it's important is because marriage equals wealth. Two incomes are better than one. Two heads are better than one, right? And we're both thinking together. We're bond, there's a bond. We're a team. And yes, even though we're a team, I still consider my husband a leader. Think about at a job. You have sometimes two managers. You have your day-to-day manager, the one who's more hands-on, and then you have the one who's over that entire department or area. So there are two managers, but one is more day-to-day and one is leading the whole overall. They're looking at the bigger picture, the financial component, and all of these other things. And I feel like I'm more hands-on day-to-day, dealing with the kids, dealing with this, dealing with that. And he's looking at the budget. He's looking at, where do we go from here? What's our future goal? What's this? And so there's nothing wrong with that. And I know a lot of people say, no, we're not a team. I'm just a lead. No, but a leader is part of being, is part of a team. So we don't want to discount that, because leaders do listen to, their employees. And you want to be a leader that knows how to listen. That's why God has blessed us with 2 ears. We listen more than we speak. Just because we're leaders, just because men are leaders, it's not good to just lead and ignore the people around you, especially the people who are doing the day-to-day things. The people that you say you love, you care about, you want to get their feedback. So this is important. So I'm going to always press marriage. If marriage isn't for you, then that's fine. If you understand that, hey, I'm not going to be that person that commits to one person or commits to, staying along with my vows. I'm not going to be that person. And that's fine. That's good that you're honest with yourself. I appreciate people who are honest with the things that they say they want. But if marriage is something you want, or if this person, you see longevity with this woman or with this man, then don't discount marriage because other people have discounted it. Don't do that. All right. So again, what's the point of marriage? It's so that your family can be protected. It shows a level of commitment, a level of trust, a bond, just like anything else. It shows it's a part of the honor, your honor. But we don't go off the honor system where we don't do a contract, right? This is binding. This is you saying, you both having some mutual agreement of how you're going to view this relationship. All right. So today has been a long day for me. So I'm definitely not going to stay on long, but I do appreciate you all coming on and listening to me. If you have some ideas of what you want to hear for the Tuesdays live that I have, because I do lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays, let me know. Put your comments in. If you're watching on the playback, go ahead and put that in so I can take a look to see what you want to talk about. If not, I'll continue posting new information from what I'm receiving. I get a wide variety of topics based on coaching, based on observations and listening to people. So I'll definitely continue to put those out. If this is your first time listening to my content, I appreciate it. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to it here on this YouTube. If you're listening from the Facebook, you can follow me. If you're listening from Instagram, you can also follow me. I have lots of videos here. I also have content on the Philip Scott Show. So he has a great show. Please watch that. I am a contributor there. So view that content. I'll be posting more things so I can post on there as well. But I do appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. I am going to end it tonight and get some rest so I can be ready to get these videos coming out for you all, some of these short recorded videos, because I've been doing a lot of lives and not a lot of short content, right? But again, Thanks for watching my videos. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. Now, if you are subscribed, hit the notification button so if you don't receive a lot of notifications when I do my lives. I know a lot of people are saying they're not getting my lives, and sometimes it doesn't even show how many people are actually watching. It shows only a few people, and then when the video is over, I see a lot of people are watching during the live. So YouTube, yeah, they do you girl wrong, but that is okay. So again, thank you for watching my content. I'll go ahead and let you all be for the night. Take care and happy Thursday. Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the when to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today.